Okay, good evening. Let me start with Derek Nelson, because I think everybody saw that at the end of the game there. Right now he's at Robert Wood Johnson. Before he left the field, he had full movement in his hands and his feet and his extremities. So again, I make that announcement in case his parents are watching. He told me before he left the field his parents weren't here, and we're in the process of trying to get in contact with them. But all the initial signs were positive. But any injury of that type, it needs to be handled with the greatest of caution, and so that's why he's at Robert Wood right now being cared for. And when I'm done, I'll head over there. In terms of the game, we're disappointed. We've got things we got to continue to work on. It's we had some opportunities in the game. We got it to a one-score game in the second half. So we certainly had opportunities, and but we need more consistency of good play, which we didn't have today. Questions?
Cal Nelson, you said his parents were here, so he was responsive in talking to you while he was down. And then, what are you feeling in that moment as a coach?
Yeah, I don't want to get into all that. I'm not a medical person. Again, I gave you I want his parents to know if they're watching that he had full movement, communication skills, that kind of stuff. But what we're doing is precautionary right now, and as a coach, it's the most important thing. The health and safety of your players is more important than anything else that we do. And I feel really good right now that he's over at Robert Wood, and he's in great hands.
Coach, the fifth punt call, what went into that?
I just didn't feel good about putting the defense back out there, and at some point you're going to run out of possessions. It didn't work. So, I thought the defense did a great job holding them to a field goal afterwards. They really stepped up in that situation. But it did, again, when you call those things, and when they work, you feel really good, and when they don't, there's always a little bit of risk-reward for sure.
Coach, what's your assessment of the defense overall in this game?
I thought they battled, at times opportunistic, 3 drives in a row that ended in interceptions. The one touchdown on the scramble in the second quarter, the quarterback gets out of the pocket, and a young half-field safety comes up to secondary contain it, which is really not his responsibility, and the ball goes over his head for a touchdown. So we're still having some of those growing pains back there for sure. I don't think we necessarily put them in the best situations throughout the game, but certainly have to credit Nebraska. They've got a good football team, and they've got talented players and good coaches, and they did a good job with their game plan as well.
How do you explain the offensive struggles? Obviously, the last 3 games with 3 top defenses, but Nebraska came in with one of the weaker pass defenses, and you guys really couldn't get anything going.
Well, a weaker pass defense gets better in a hurry when the pass rush is effective. And so, to me, without looking at the film, and you say, all right, what was the biggest issue we had on offense today? It was the pass rush. I mean, they had 6 sacks, but it was a lot more than that. We didn't do a very good job of protecting the quarterback at all, and it just gets really hard.
Is there anything different Nebraska threw at you defensively with the line and the linebackers that maybe you hadn't seen in some other games? I didn't mean to cut you off. Is there more to it? Yeah, I was going to say, every week I think every team has a little wrinkle in their third down package. We do it, they do it. But there were other times where I think we're breaking down one-on-one, and I got to look at that on film and see if I'm right. Those things are tough to evaluate live on game day.
Paul James dressed, but was he just mentally not able to play?
No, Paul could have played. Paul could have played. He didn't have a full practice week, and I felt like if the other guys stayed healthy through the game, I'd like him to give him the opportunity to go out there and practice for a full week, and I expect Paul to be a big part of what we do next week.
What's your reaction getting booed at home during the PSA when you appeared on the scoreboard screens?
Oh, I don't have any reaction to it at all. My job is to coach the football team, and I get great support from so many people in so many places, and the reality of major college football is if you're not playing well and not performing well, those things are going to happen.
Kyle, a few players on the defense made some plays tonight for you despite the 31 points. Lewis, Hampton, and Chop Chaffee, what can you say you saw from them?
Well, Hampton and Chaffee both had interceptions. You know, turnovers are critical in the game. I didn't see the tackle. I got the tackle numbers here. I guess Kwan had 13 tackles. You know, career high. Yeah, that's good. That's really good. You know, it's important. You know, he's in the middle of our defense for a reason. So for him to be productive, that's a good sign.
I think what Steve's referring to, can you empathize at all with the fans' frustration? Is that what you and your locker room and your coaches are feeling at all too?
Oh, I think everybody in the program is frustrated. Sure. Yeah, we want to perform better. You know, we want to be 1-0. There's no question. We've got real competitors in that locker room. So we have very high expectations for ourselves. You know, we're not pleased with how we played tonight. You know, then we'll go back to work tomorrow to fix it. You know, that ultimately that's what we can do. Yeah, I think I said this before. We're frustrated. You can't let the frustration turn into discouragement, because discouragement stops you from going forward. And for us, it's important that we go forward.
What is there to kind of go forward? Because at this point, I mean, bowl is obviously a long shot. Just how do you think the team mindset is right now?
I'll find out tomorrow, but I don't have any concern about it. You know, we've got players that want to compete, and when we show up next week up at West Point, you know, we'll be ready to do that. If you got competitors in your locker room, it's a week-to-week season, and they'll go out and compete. I have no doubt about it.
Chris Muller, how did he deal with the injury? Because it looked like he banged heads with Nelson. Did he suffer anything? Chris Muller?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay.
Thank you.